Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you were able to make out time to attend the webinar. Can we have those that are here say hello in the chat box? We're glad to have you here. So on today's webinar, we'll be talking about how to easily become PMP certified. And I'm your presenter, Ojugo Ajunwa. I'm from Ritetrac Consulting. Over time, we've had a lot of people complain about, oh, I've done my training and, I've not been able to write the exam. And that's the crux or the main deal, when you actually earn that certification. And that's what this webinar will try to demystify, so that it's easy for you to go ahead and achieve this. Objectives of this webinar: building a successful project management career. It could be a daunting task, but with the right steps, you can actually know exactly how to apply for your PMP certification from PMI, and that's what this 1 hour webinar is poised to actually help you achieve. It's designed to impact professionals in various industries so that you can quickly earn your certification and also learn about its benefits. I notice most times people, when you don't really know the real reason, for something, you could keep procrastinating on it and all that. So that's part of what the webinar will try to, address. So introductions again. My name is Ojugo Ajunwa. I'm a wife and a mom of 2 lovely kids. I see someone smiling over there. I'm a project management consultant and trainer, and I've been on this task for the past 15 years. My roles have been in training, in IT, software implementation, digital marketing, and also event management. I'm a co-author of the book titled A Day in the Life of a Project Manager, alongside other over 50 plus project managers across the world, and you can find this on Amazon. We also have some other books coming up soon, like Lessons Learned Managing Projects in Nigeria, for people that have had experience, managing their projects in Nigeria, and that will be out soon. At Ritetrac Consulting, we help organizations and individuals deliver their projects using project management best practices. I'm also a co-founder at Ritetrac. Ritetrac is an 8-year-plus old company. We've been around for 8 years. Who can believe that? So find us online and engage with us on this website, on Blogger, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. We are based in Abuja, Nigeria, but we have liaison offices in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and of course we could work virtually with anybody. So welcome, let's meet you. It's time for some housekeeping. To reduce the distraction during the time of the webinar, please make sure your phones are on silent and you could, give the full focus to what we are doing here. So let's meet you. Can we know your name? Do you have a professional certification? Are you already PMP certified? Yes or no? The chat box could help us again. Okay, I think some of us have already done that on the chat box, so I will just continue quickly. But it would be nice to also get others that have just joined that information from you. Thank you. Your name, do you already have a professional certification? Are you PMP certified? You could comment on the chat box. Okay. Okay. Okay, so welcome once again, everyone. So this is just a quote to get us, really ready for what we are going to learn now. To double your income, triple your investment in your professional education and your professional development. That's by Robin Sharma, a popular motivational speaker. So to double your income, triple your investment in your professional education and your professional development. I had a boss who once told me that, learning, education is a gift that keeps on giving. So I encourage us today, there is no education that is useless. Every education is very important. So that's what we are encouraging us to do today. So your why do you choose to get certified? Was that your big reason for becoming certified? Can we have comments again on the chat box? Why did you decide to become PMP certified? Was it a friend at your workplace, or it's just you need to further your career growth, or it's a project? I remember for myself, it was a project that I was on. My workplace, they wanted all of us to become certified because of a very key project at work. And for me, that was a wonderful reason, to get certified. But beyond the workplace, I also was able to use this certification. I have other certifications, but for this particular one, I was able to harness it and actually use it to impact a lot of lives. In our country, Nigeria, one of the big issues is project delivery, and I found this certification very useful in that it could actually change the way we deliver projects. So that's why I went in hook, line, sinker. And for me, it's been a big shift in what I do, and the lives have impacted as well. When people tell me, oh, I was able to do this because I actually had you coach me, I had you mentor me, I was able to achieve this, I was able to get a promotion at work, I got a job. I remember a man that, he was disengaged from his place of work, but then by the time he had done his training and he was able to write his certification exams, his life changed because there was one opportunity that came and he was such a perfect match for it with the certification and all. And today he's happily, enjoying his project management career. So what's your vision? What's your big picture? Why did you decide to become certified? Most times this is what would inform the energy you pursue getting certified, and beyond certification, using what you've earned. So I would like you, as a take home, decide on your vision, the big picture, create a vision board for your career journey. In 5 years from today, when I become certified, what do I want to achieve with it? In 10 years, in 15 years, and so on. So what's the value of project management? I'll look at the bullet points quickly. You complete projects more quickly and cheaply because you're using best practice. You're using proven methodology. So you're not going back and forth. You actually know exactly what procedure to use, what tool and technique to use at each time. You're saving effort and cost with proactive scope management. Many projects fail, because of poor scoping. So many projects have difficulty managing scope, which results in additional efforts and cost to the project. So having better project management processes will result in being able to scope more effectively, eliminating the syndrome that we call the scope creep. Then better solution fit the first time through better planning, because you can plan very well with the inputs, with your tools and techniques. You also have the proven outputs from that particular procedure. You can better plan. And project management is all about planning. You're also able to resolve problems more quickly, because you have a proactive issue management process. When issues come, you're able to tackle them, immediately so that they do not draw down your project. You're able to resolve future risks before the problems occur. That means you have sound risk management processes in place when you understand project management. And risk is also a big one, with projects, because it can actually cause your project to become, a failed project, and that's not what you want. You're able to communicate and manage expectations with clients, with team members, with stakeholders more effectively. I remember, recently a conference by PMI in Nigeria that we attended. In fact, everybody's problem was all around stakeholder engagement, managing their expectations. Most people complained that was why their project failed. And I'm like, okay, if this is the major reason, that means project management is valuable in that it helps you design a communication framework that you can use to actually engage the stakeholders and get them to the side of your project, and avoid the surprises. This also helps you build a higher quality product the first time. Quality project management processes always help you and your team understand the needs of your customer in terms of quality, so that at the end of the day, you're building what the customer would use, something that is fit for you, for the customer, and then improve financial management. This is the result of better project definition, better estimating, more formal budgeting, better tracking of your project's actual costs compared to your budget. By the time you're doing this, you can predict financially how you're going, and then you can control better. You can also stop bad projects more quickly. Sometimes we just keep patching projects that should actually, you should have actually stopped in their tracks, but then we keep patching them and patching them. But making use of project management tells you, oh, no, this is a red light project. We've done all we can. We cannot move this project further. You can actually also rescope projects, or rephase projects. Ask them, oh, for this particular feature you're asking for, we can do it in another phase, so that you don't do it within a project that cannot carry it. You can stop bad projects quickly with project management. You can also be more focused on metrics, and you can make fact-based decisions. Your decisions are not emotional now. Your decisions are with metrics, with your status reports, with your forecast, so that you actually know what is going on your project. And then improved work environment. If your projects are more successful, you will find additional intangible benefits associated with your project team members. Your clients will be more involved. Your team members will take more ownership of the project. Their morale will be better. The team members will behave with a greater sense of professionalism and self-confidence, and all of this would help, in the work environment. People would work, to make sure the project succeeds because they've taken ownership of the project. At this point, I just want to pause a bit to say that we'll have a question and answer session, at the tail end of the presentation. So I would crave you to, listen in and write down your questions so that we could take up the answers right here in the webinar presentation. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about PMI, the Institute, Project Management Institute. They were founded in 1969, and in 1969 they decided that they wanted a formal way to manage projects across any type of industry. So that gave birth to the PMBOK guide. I'm sure most of us here have heard about the PMBOK. The PMBOK stands for the Project Management Body of Knowledge. The PMBOK is not, it's not a tool that you follow, just like that. It's a framework, it's a guideline. So you refer to it to manage your project, and it's been revised over the years from 1969 when PMI actually started, and currently the PMBOK is in its 5th edition and will be going to its 6th edition by, I think, summer of next year. That's around June to August of 2017. So that's the PMBOK. And then PMI has several different certifications. You have the Project Management Professional, the PMP, which is the most popular certification they have. They also have the Certified Associate in Project Management, that's the CAPM. And they also have various other ones that are not within the context of the presentation today. They have the Business Analyst certification, certifications in Agile Project Management, Program Management, and so on and so forth. So let's look at the PMP. We want to demystify the PMP. So PMP is the profession's most globally recognized and respected project management certification. It's aimed at project managers with at least 3 to 5 years experience, at a responsible level. That means you've been part of, a team managing a project in your organization. Most times people are like, okay, but I've not been called the project manager. That's fine. If you were a project coordinator, project administrator, or part of the project management team, then this certification, it's for you. Topics covered in the PMBOK, the curriculum for the exam is that, first of all, you must understand the project management context, project management processes, the project management knowledge areas such as integration management, scope management, time, cost, quality, human resource communication, risks, procurement, and then stakeholder management. For the examination and assessment structure, first of all, you must have project management education, which is part of what we provide at Ritetrac Consulting, and then you must have that experience, 3 to 5 years managing projects, before you can approach this certification. And for the exams, it's 200 questions, multiple choice, and you can answer it in 4 hours, and for the exam, the examinee must pass 137 questions out of 200. That's roughly within the region of 61%. Prerequisite, your first degree, plus 4,500 hours of project management experience, which we talked about up there, where we said you must have 3 to 5 years of experience at a responsible level. But then if you don't have this, plus the formal education, you could also have your secondary school education, plus 7,500 hours of experience, managing projects for you to be eligible as well. And then the evidence of 35 contact hours of project management training from a certified instructor or organization, just like we've been doing at Ritetrac for the past 8 years. So those are some of the requirements. You can take note of them. Also note that the recording will be available in case you miss any particular information or detail. For this particular one, we'll not really talk a lot about the CAPM, but the CAPM is for people that, you're fresh out of school, you understand project management, you've had some training, you've had little experience, but not up to 3 years, then the CAPM is for you. Basically, the same topics are covered, but not in the same rigor, and here they assess your education, what you know about project management at the fundamental level. The questions are 150, multiple choice as well, but then you write in 3 hours. You know, it's a simpler exam compared to the PMP. So here you also could have 2,500 hours of project management experience in the last 0 to 3 years. A lot of people that do the National Youth Service Corps at the level of the NYSC in my country, Nigeria, this is a good fit for you. You can actually start here, and then later on, you know, as you gain more hands-on experience, you can move up to becoming PMP certified. So what are the prospects and benefits? Why should I become PMP or CAPM certified? For individuals, it helps recognize your expertise in project management. That means for hiring organizations that have a job role, project manager or project administrator or project coordinator, you know, you can actually make use of this certification to come into such organizations. You have a better salary, it's been proven. So, PMI conducts surveys all the time. You know, the average starting salary in countries abroad, that's apart from Nigeria, is $90,000 per annum. And in Nigeria, it's usually within the range of 250,000 naira a month, you know, and above. Better and greater job opportunities are there. It's officially recognized by leading companies. And you can also start out as a consultant, you know, just like we've been doing in Ritetrac Consulting. So this is like a salary trend. If you notice, it dipped a little bit in 2011, but it's been going, you know, it's been growing on and on. It's been going on strong. Nigeria has its own survey results from PMI. I think they included us in 2016 salary survey. So if you go online, you can find more details about that. For organizations, your workforce will understand processes and terminology. You know, they will be able to speak the project management language, be able to understand the processes and implement the processes. Your workforce will know what to look for before they even begin any project. Your workforce will value teamwork and be more disciplined. Your clients will have increased confidence because of your credentialized project team, you know, that have an ethical code that they work with. Your clients will have increased confidence because your team has knowledge of the most up-to-date global best practices. You would also have repeatable processes and improved project results. You will retain your employees by investing, you know, in their professional development. You would help the profession of project management grow stronger and stronger. So how would Ritetrac help you? It would help you learn proven strategies, methods, tips for passing your project management exams, you know, and becoming a proficient project manager. It would help you master the 47 processes that the PMBOK talks about. It would help you make use of the PMBOK guide, Headfirst, and other ebooks, you know, to create a rich study format to help you pass and gather information about the PMP exam. Would help you understand critical project management details like the work breakdown structures, like the critical path, end value management, change control systems, and so on. Our classes are usually interactive, and we provide a lot of online resources and simulated exam questions so that you can even simulate the exams in real life or in real time. So steps to becoming certified. Let's look at our steps. That's the main part of the webinar today. We'll quickly look at these steps. How do you become certified? Make sure you meet the criteria that PMI has given. by visiting pmi.org. In there we also have the PMP handbook, which is free for you to download and take a look at. But like we said earlier, 35 contact hours, your first degree, and then your having the experience. We said 3 to 5 years for people that need to become PMP certified. So these are our unique benefits. We have experienced and certified trainers that would offer that 35 formal contact hours, which we provide in classroom training and in online real-time training as well. It's usually done for 4 days, and if it's online, you have access on demand for it for 1 month. Then we also provide exam simulated questions so that you actually understand the pattern of their questions. We provide mock exam materials. Our training fees are competitive. It's actually very competitive, especially when you compare it with global fees that are taken by institutions offering the same. Then we have vast online resources, like I mentioned earlier. We also have online mentoring, that we provide through this particular Facebook page. You can take a note of it and join immediately after the webinar. We also have a blogspot account where we, talk about this certification and several things surrounding the career of project management. So first of all, after you've become eligible, you can also become a member of PMI. As of January 2011 and up till date, the membership fee is $139 for individual, $139, and for students is reduced $75 for students that want to become PMI members. And I think they also have for retirees a fee and so on. Please note that students pay a lesser fee, when it comes to the exam. So if you're currently doing your master's program, your PhD program, note that, your first degree, note that you can actually pay less for the exam. I think that's a very important point to note. And we also have chapters, local PMI chapters. When you go to register, there is also PMI Nigeria, PMI Nigeria. So we'll move over to the steps, for applying for membership. Apply online at www.pmi.org. For most people, membership is easy, but the exam is where the pain points are. So first of all, you must visit pmi.org. You must not be a member to, write the exam. That's not what I'm saying, but you can go there, and I will show you in the next slide the steps to take. You'll be filling out all the details that we mentioned before, and for the paper exam we write in Nigeria, it's $250 for PMI members and $405 for non-members. You can use your credit card, your dollar credit card, to pay for this. If you also do not have access to a dollar credit card, you can contact us at the end of the webinar. For the CAPM, the computer-based exam fees are $225 for PMI members and $300 for non-members. I forgot to add that if you want to take a computer exam and you're outside Nigeria, it's $555 for non-members, $405 for members. And the exams, if it's computer-based, they are not written in Nigeria, but they are written in Accra, Ghana. The paper-based exams are written in Ghana and any other place globally. The paper-based exams are written in Lagos and Abuja in Nigeria. For the computer exams, for the CAPM, you can actually write anywhere. Make sure your application is complete before you submit to PMI. It takes them 5 days recently to process your application and enable you right. The timetable is also available for 2017. In case you're planning to write in 2017, you can also let us know with an email after the webinar. So what are the steps? Again, first of all, you read the PMI Credentials Handbook for the PMP exam. Then make sure you're eligible. We've talked about eligibility earlier. And then optional is your PMI membership or local chapter membership. And then you sign up for your exam. So that's where we are heading to next. So applying for PMI exams, you visit the pmi.org. So that's the first page you see. The website is easy to actually navigate. So you go over to register if you're not registered yet, or log in if you've logged in the past. So there we go. If you're not registered, it will lead you to this page and say register now. And on this page, you now supply information, details about yourself. So you create your account on this page. You can see personal information, professional information. You make sure you provide them accurately, and also, always record your passwords that you also provide, somewhere where you can remember them. Then it will tell you congratulations once you're done registering, with all those information that was asked earlier. So there we go. It would show you your profile, which you can add a photo on, and, other details about yourself. You can also upload your resume, on this platform so that people can actually, when they need to contact you, they can actually find you there. Then next, you click on My PMI. It will lead you to a certification tab. So once you're at your certification tab, you look for the Project Management Professional, PMP, and then it will ask you, do you want to apply now? And you click on Apply Now. So once you click on Apply Now, it takes you to this page. Remember, you're applying for the PMP credential. They have so many other certifications, but that's the one we are looking for. So next, it takes you to step 1. Very important. So at this point, you supply your address. How do you want PMI to contact you? You supply all that information. You click on Save and Continue. Next step, attained education. PMI wants to know, do you have a first degree, in what field, in what year, did you graduate? What's the name of your school? So you need to go down memory lane and supply your education information. And once you do that accurately, save and continue. Next, it leads you to this very important page, eligibility worksheet. So they want to know, have you had formal education? For you to apply for this certification. So you want to click on them, the experience you've had. I will talk about it in a jiffy on the next slide. They want to know your experience, your formal education that you've had. Remember earlier I told you must have 35 contact hours of formal project management training. So here you want to supply, the organization that trained you, if you've done that before, and if you've not, and you wish that we should help you handle your training, you will be supplying our name, Ritetrac Consulting, as the formal providers for your exam, for your training, and then you put in that you've done this for 35 hours. You list the topics that we covered in class with you and so on, and then you save and continue. See, the form is easy, isn't it? It's not so difficult to approach. So this is where people, stop filling this form, the experience worksheet. So this is very key. You need to record the 3 to 5 years you've had, experience in managing projects. Now you need to think, I think this is 2016, so you need to go as far back as 2011 to think of, okay, what project did I work on in the past 3 to 5 years? What project did I work on? So you need to, put in the time you spent. You need to record 4,500 hours of formal experience you've had. So you need to actually document if it's up to 3 projects you've worked on, 4 projects, you need to break them down and put in the hours you've spent. And for a rule of thumb, I always tell our clients, our students, that a work week is 40 hours. So if you did a project for 4 weeks, that's 160 hours. If you did it for 10 weeks, you do the math, 400 hours and so on. But make sure the times you're putting in is believable, and it's easy. For 1 year, 1 year of work is 8,760 hours. So if you did a project for 2 years, you can multiply that and also put that in. And make sure you don't create overlapping projects, because PMI would take it as a single year if 2 projects overlapped in 1 year. I hope that is clear enough. So 4,500 hours, make sure that it sums up to that before you submit your application. So keep breaking it down and then write in the language that it was, I did this. Don't say we or the project team. You need to own up what you did on the project. Take ownership. I created a work breakdown structure. I created a team directory. I did this. I did that. And you save. Remember, if you can't remember everything, you can always save it and come back to it. You can always save it and come back to it. Or I saved money on this project, or I saved time with this particular project management knowledge, or I prevented a risk, with this particular project management knowledge. I'm just giving an example. Just think of everything that surrounded your project, and articulate it in the language that will make PMI understand that it was actually you that did this. That's where most people have a challenge. And if at the end of this presentation, you still need like a template that can guide you, to record your experience, also contact us. We'll share it via Dropbox, so that you can actually understand the language to use to record what you did that will be acceptable to PMI, So we would actually help you with that template free of charge. You do that and, put it in. So once you've done all of that, you save and continue. So this is where you spend the most time. In fact, people spend 70%, if not 80% of the time on this particular experience worksheet. So you need to be as detailed as possible. If not, PMI would usually audit 1 in 100 applications. And you want your own to be believable. You don't need to go through an audit process, and all of that. Okay, so the next step is how you want your certificate to appear, as in your name, how you want them to write out your name on your certificate. If you have a middle name and so on, make sure you add that. Save and continue. Okay, I hope I didn't skip a slide. No, I did not. So I'm going back. And then you make an agreement that everything that you've written is actually true. you concur to it and save again and continue. And then it will lead you to this last page where, all that, don't mind my own, demo account, at this point, all those details will be ticked green and marked green, showing that you've completed them. So at this point, you review again in case you made some mistakes or you missed out on some things. And then at this juncture, you submit. Okay, so that's the end of that application process. And so once PMI gives you a response, which they usually do in 1 week or 5 days, you can now go ahead to schedule your exam at a suitable time to you. But note that for paper-based exams, there is a calendar that you need to follow. You need to know when registration ends, which we also will provide upon you requesting for it. So that's how you apply for your PMP certification exam. I want to get a lot of likes at the end of this, telling us that you would stick with what we've said. And guess what? You can do this in 5 days or less, once you've had your training, or in 30 days or less if you're yet to have your training, and so on. Set out a calendar to start reading. I also tell people and encourage them that every hour you put in every day adds up. So create a timetable, stick to it, even if it's 1 hour a day. Look at the main points, look at the main concepts, and take it up from there, and you will definitely make a success out of this. So your earning ability is largely determined by the perception of excellence, quality, and value that others have of you and what you do. The market would only pay excellent rewards for excellent performance. It pays average rewards for average performance, and it will pay below average rewards or even unemployment for below average performance. So we wish to see you at the other end of excellent rewards for excellent performance. A lot of PMPs earn a whole lot, in their industry, and they are also impacting lives. Remember the lives you will impact when a project was done very well, and it actually helped with healthcare. It actually helped with banking. It helped with construction, and so on. So I encourage all of us today to take a go at this, and we'll see your success at the end of all of this. So some of our services, again, at Ritetrac Consulting, we provide project advisory. We can help you set up a PMO, that's the project management office in your organization. We can help with team mentoring. We can help with training, like the PMP certification training we just talked about, process improvement certification training and consulting, Lean Six Sigma training. We also provide software. Do you need software to manage your projects? We have Project Place, we have Oracle Primavera, we have Microsoft Projects. Do you need software for quality management? We are official representatives of Minitab in Nigeria and Ghana. So we indulge you to engage and connect with us. We absolutely love that you spent time, today. We appreciate it. So we want to take your questions at this point. Your questions, it's time for you to ask questions. So let's have your questions in there. You can drop them on the poll, on the chat box on the right. So let's take your questions. Okay. Question time. Drop your questions. I think we're on the mark of 1 hour. So let's take your questions quickly. Thank you. Thanks for attending. For those that would want to leave now, You can contact us on those phone numbers, on the email. And if you want more information, you can schedule a 15-minute discovery call with us on Skype within the next 48 hours. You can add me and I'll be glad to, add you on my Skype and take your questions, and any other comments you may have. My handle is ojugo.ajunwa. Okay. Thank you. Okay, sixth edition of PMP Guide. It will be out soon. I think it will be out by, let's say, I told you earlier, in the summer of next year. That's when it will be incorporated. That's when the exams will change. Summer of next year, that should be between July and August. No specific date yet of 2017, but the ebook, if you become a PMI member, should be out by early first quarter of 2017. You can also order hard copy books, of the PMBOK, and if you want us to order for you alongside other clients that have been asking for it, we can also do that for you as well. Okay, any other questions? I hope it's been helpful. If it has, please let us also know. If the webinar was helpful, how do you rate the webinar? Tell us so that we could, take note of that. Was the sound good? Were you able to read the PowerPoint slide and so on? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I think we could call it. Okay, let's give a little more time for those with questions. Please feel free to put in your questions. Someone asked before the program for online classes. Yes, we have it available on demand and on request. We actually have it as online live classes, where the trainer is speaking to you and you can also speak back to the trainer. Okay. So the webinar recording will be available, at the end of, in the next, let's say, 12 hours or less. So you can always come back again to bigmaca.com where you registered earlier, and you'll be able to watch the recording, and I think we can put it up there again for those that can access our YouTube channel. You can search for us, Ritetrac Consulting. We're on YouTube. So we would also endeavor to drop it on YouTube so that it can actually help a whole lot of people, even those that couldn't make it on the call. So drop your questions. Remember to schedule a 15-minute discovery call with us on Skype, or if you have another medium, you can email us and we can, connect with you. We are poised to assist as many people as possible. Remember, we've been doing this for 8 years, so we want to encourage as many people as possible, to earn the certification. Though I didn't talk a lot about, about it, but we've trained, I'm sure, more than 3,000 people. We've exposed them to project management education, and we've had a whole lot of them, a good percentage of them certify as project managers, which is a good thing, and we want to encourage more people to become certified. Okay, so we'll call it a day. Thank you, and we look forward to having you on our next webinars. Thank you.